What's going on, everybody? I'm Jerry, and today I'm going to go through my full playoff prediction. Every game, all the way to the Super Bowl. You will find out who is going to win the Super Bowl. Still, hopefully, riding my high horse. Last week of the season, I predicted exactly that the Cardinals Seahawks game would be 21-20, perfectly nailing it. Great way to end the season. So why not perfectly predict the playoffs? So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's get right into it. We got some quickly put together graphics. I'm not feeling the greatest right now, but we've got Allegiant Stadium where the Super Bowl is being held in the background. Let's go through the picks, though. We got Bills Steelers. I think it's supposed to be very windy and potentially very snowy there in Buffalo. And I think that could, if anything, benefit the Steelers because I think their run game is a lot more competitive, to the Bills than the pass game. But I still do think the Bills will probably take that one down. I think with having James Cook and playoff Lenny, hopefully that'll be enough. And then I think Josh Allen is a threat on the ground too. And then Chiefs Dolphins. The Dolphins just have too many injuries, so I'm fairly confident that the Dolphins are going to take them down. I'm not really quite sure, how that game's going to go. I just feel like I heard the temperature is going to be tough too, and I like Pacheco on the ground. And I just think the injuries that the Dolphins are dealing with are going to be too much. So I personally would take the Dolphins in that game. Texans Browns. I really want to see the Browns make it far. I think this is probably the toughest game to pick of all of them here. Arguably Lions Rams could be pretty close, but I think the Browns can do it. I think the team all around is better. Denzel Ward obviously gets injured in practice, which is very unfortunate. And the Browns did win last time, but that was without C.J. Stroud, so you have to factor that in. Cowboys Packers. I'm taking the Cowboys. I think the Packers are going to put up a good fight though, and definitely a team to worry about, especially if the Cowboys are sleeping. The Cowboys haven't really dominated any really good teams this season, and the Packers are a at least decent team, so it'll be interesting to see how they fare there. And then I'm taking Lions Rams. I'm taking the Rams. I think the Rams are going to come out. It's the best, one of the best stories ever. Matt Stafford and Jared Goff are traded to each other's teams, and now they play each other in the playoffs and what is the Lions' first playoff game in a long time. But I just think that his ability throwing the ball is going to outshine Goff's in this game. I understand that the Lions have a better ground game, but I also think the Rams have a better defense. The Lions' defense has been very underwhelming, and I think the bar was pretty low for the Rams' defense moving into this season, but it has been good as well. So I'm taking the Rams in that one. Even though they are the sixth seed, I also don't like how the Lions have been playing towards the end of the season here. And then Buccaneers Eagles, this is the toughest one. I'm going to stick to my gut. I know that Jalen Hurts might not even be playing. A.J. Brown didn't practice today, so I don't know how all that's going to go. I still am, though. I still am going to take the Eagles in this one. It just seems right. The Eagles are, they just lost to the Giants last week, so it would be easy to say that they won't win, but I'm just going to ride with them. I just have a feeling that that's how it's going to be, so I'm going to have the Eagles moving forward. Then this brings us to a phenomenal matchup between the Ravens and the Browns, which is the kind of Joe Flacco variant of the Matt Stafford game over there on the NFC side. But having Joe Flacco play, that's what we need. Joe Flacco playing in Baltimore in the playoffs would just be electric. And I think the Browns could put up a fight there. I don't think that they could win, though. I just think that Ravens team is so good. It's tough. Even last year, both one seeds end up in the Super Bowl, and it seems like that feels like kind of what you have to pick, but anything can happen, so you have to keep that in mind too. I would love for the Browns to make it all the way. I'm pulling for Joe Flacco and that team and what they've done. But I think the Ravens would take down that one. Bills, Chiefs. The Chiefs have been falling off and the Bills have been hot. So I feel like if the Bills win this game, it means they have to beat this game, or if they win the Steelers game, rather. I feel like they have to win against the Chiefs again, too. Kind of payback for in years past in the overtime game. I just don't. Mahomes' receivers aren't catching the ball. Now, granted, the defense has been playing lights out, but Josh Allen can play good offense against a good defense. He's going to turn the ball over, but he's going to get the ball down the field regardless, and I think that's going to help them win that game. Then moving over to NFC, you got the 49ers playing the Rams. The Rams did just beat the 49ers backups in that last game, but I just still think the 49ers are a juggernaut, and they're a great football team. Obviously, you saw some struggles throughout the year, but there's just too many weapons on that team. It seems right. I'm pulling for the 49ers and the Rams, honestly. If whoever wins this game, if one of them could win the Super Bowl, I'd be happy about it. But of the Cowboys and the Eagles, I feel like this is a pretty easy pick and it's kind of lucky for the Cowboys. Whoever they play in this game, it's likely going to be an easy next game if they beat the Packers. They're going to have a very easy track to the NFC Championship, pretty much regardless, looking at it being the 2 seed there. So I'm taking the Cowboys over the Eagles in that one. Again, the Eagles are a hot mess, especially with their defense not playing well, and then their injuries on offense isn't helping them any. I feel like the Eagles definitely take them down. But even then, I think the Buccaneers very well could win that game. But so Eagles get taken down by the Cowboys, and that brings you to the AFC Championship. You got Ravens, Bills, 49ers, Cowboys. The 1-2 and the 1-2. I know it seems like, oh, duh, like that's what you're going to expect. There's always some upsets. I have some upsets in here. I have the Rams winning. I have the Eagles shouldn't really be a 5th seed. They're probably favored in that one. But I have the Browns winning. I don't know if they'll be favored. We'll see what happens. But I think this is probably pretty accurate. I think your sleeper team on the NFC, I would say, is the Rams. I think even the Packers could be kind of sneaky. I can't confidently say because they didn't beat a lot of good teams either last year. So I would probably say the Rams are probably your sleeper team of the NFC, and then your Browns or even your Texans are definitely the sleeper team of the AFC. We kind of expect a lot from the Ravens, Bills, Chiefs, and Dolphins, I think, moving into it. But of the Ravens and the Bills, both teams are going to be so hot going into this championship game if they, both make it that far, that I think the Ravens can win this one. I was tempted to go Bills, but I'm going to take the Ravens in this one. And then in the NFC, again, I still think the Cowboys are a fraudulent team. I think they, like I just mentioned, they have a pretty easy path to the Super Bowl, or at least to the NFC Championship if they can make it there. So I feel like the 49ers, find a team on there that's better on offense and defense. I mean, they've been great on defense. You could argue maybe the Cowboys are a little bit better, but they don't have Christian McCaffrey. So I'm taking the 49ers. I think their offense and defense is better than every other team, and therefore you're going to end up in the Super Bowl. And then this is a tough one for me. You go from Ravens to Ravens 49ers is obviously both 1 seeds. Again, I feel like both would have, or at least the 49ers would have a fairly easy time in the NFC because I think the AFC all around is a little better than the NFC. But man, this one's really tough. With the Ravens and the 49ers, I ended up picking the 49ers. I just think that the 49ers are going to be the Super Bowl champions. It just, to me, it makes sense. I think we got George Kittle peeking out there, and this is not even all the weapons. They still have Eric Armstead. They still have Dre Greenlaw on the defense. They have, I didn't put Brandon Ayuk in here. Trent Williams is the best tackle in the league. There's just so many weapons all around this team that I think they could take down the Ravens. Yes, they did lose in the middle of the season, and I think Mark Andrews was out in that one anyway. But I look at all these players and I go, man, these, with Mike Shanahan too, like they've got to win it. So I'm taking the 49ers. I also am matching. You look at the logo there in the middle. They said that you got the 49ers colors and the Ravens colors. I think it's very likely that the conspiracy theory could come true. But I'm taking the 49ers as the champions. Stay tuned for we'll do a video next week, and we'll obviously see what I got right and do another prediction of the full playoffs to see if I still think, based on what happens, if this is going to be the outcome. We're also coming into the offseason. I do have a lot of draft content planned. That's going to be a big thing. Free agency signings. I want to try to get as much information as I can on all the teams to try to put out some videos moving forward on what I think certain teams should do in the offseason, as well as going over the quarterbacks. I want to do a quarterback video for the draft, running backs, wide receivers. I want to go through a lot of the key positions. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe because there's going to be a lot more coming out. This has been a tougher week, and feeling under the weather, but I'm hoping I can put more time into this and get this going. So thank you for watching. One more time, like, comment, subscribe, and have a great day.